Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike, the intern, Ned Reynolds, back together again, halfway point of the week. And now the NFL season is over. It's time to look to the future. The Kansas City Chiefs do have a bunch of free agents on the market. I can definitely see us re-signing. There's a couple situations where I could see a tag trade opportunity. What are your thoughts on it?
Well, first of all, the free agent market doesn't open for another month. It'll be March the 15th. I think it's mid-March sometime, in and around 14, 15, 16, somewhere around there. So there is plenty of time to make decisions. But the Chiefs face a problem on the salary cap because they right now only have about $11 million in cap space to work with. And while that sounds like it is a lot of money, but not when it comes to divvying out salaries for many players and so forth and so on. So I know they've got free agents on this team who they'd love to have back. And my gosh, you don't want to get rid of, and I say get rid of, I don't mean that in a negative fashion, but Nick Bolton, for instance, he's the Chiefs' defensive captain. He would probably elect to stay if Kansas City makes an offer for him, and I think they probably will. He impresses me, being a Mizzou guy, that he wants to stay right here. He would be one who'd say Justin Reed, who, he's, what would you say, Mike? Arguably the Chiefs' best safety?
Right now for sure. And he's a hell of a leader on the team. He understands what needs to be done and the coverage. Again, when you look at that list of guys, it's a very tough decision they're going to have to make. But ultimately, in my opinion, I think we need as many draft picks as we possibly can get. So with that in mind, unfortunately, it's a business, and I don't think we're going to be having a few of those guys left on our team if that's the goal. But we'll see what happens.
I'll tell you one who probably will leave, and that's DeAndre Hopkins, and I think he more than likely retires. Trey Smith, another one. He's touchy, may go, may stay. A lot of it depends on just exactly what the situation is. But it's a long way to go, and much speculation before that happens.
Definitely is. This point of the year for national hockey usually have around this time a all-star game, but
that's exactly what they have.
This time,
all-star game, except they are not having
yes,
an all-star game.
It's not going to be that, and in my opinion, I think it's actually a lot better than an all-star game.
I don't think there's any question about it. The National Hockey League finally came to their senses, as I wish the NBA would, because those all-star games are absolutely worthless. There is one major professional sports entity that has an all-star game that means something, and that is baseball. Now, what the National Hockey League has done is come up with the Four Nations Face-Off, and that begins tonight in Boston and in Montreal. The Four Nations are the USA, Canada, Finland, and Sweden. And these are National Hockey League players from those countries who've gotten together, and they will have this round-robin tournament that runs for a couple of weeks. What the NHL is doing is trying to follow the Super Bowl number one. They want to have a little break in the season because next year is the Olympics, and the USA will have a team in the Winter Olympics. And then they'll figure out something for 27, 28, and 29. 30 is the Winter Olympics again. They're also discussing bringing the World Cup in at that time, the World Cup of Hockey. So there are a lot of variables, but I wonder now whether the National Hockey League All-Star Game is history.
Last but not least, had someone in NYC make some headlines last night. Let's talk about it.
How about this? Monty made the big headline. You know what Monty is? Monty is a giant schnauzer, and he was chosen as the best in show at the Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show at Madison Square Garden. They only had 19,000 in the garden for that event. But Monty, and I must admit, I'm not familiar with the breed, giant schnauzer. Huge dog, beautiful dog. And he was best in show, so he captures the New York headlines for at least 24 hours.
KD got a chance to put his name in the record books on the court last night. How'd he do it?
The man is an amazing basketball player. KD is Kevin Durant, and last night in a game against the Memphis Grizzlies, Kevin Durant scored 34 points, and he became the 8th player in NBA history to score over 30,000 career points. And Kevin Durant still has a few more years to go in his career. He's still not an old man, but he's not beyond playing yet. Kevin Durant's a tremendous player. He lists himself at 6'11". He's really a little bit taller than that, but he is so agile and such a great player. He can shoot from anywhere on the court, and he has proven that. He has now over 30,000 points. Where does he stand on the all-time list? Well, get this. He's the 8th player over 30,000, and that puts him in 8th place. Who's number one? Well, LeBron James, who has 41,000 career points. And then you have Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and you have Wilt Chamberlain and people like this all in front of him. But actually, in all honesty, Kevin Durant could pass Wilt before this season's over. But think of that, 30,000 career points, and the guy is still playing. That's pretty doggone good.
He makes it look easy. That's why he is so good. That's the thing about KD that just blows my mind, is how natural and easy he makes it look when it, in fact, is a lot more difficult than that. And the college basketball boys, more specifically, are going to try and prove that on the court. Who the Tigers facing tonight?
The Tigers play Oklahoma, and they play them up at Columbia, the Mizzou Arena in Columbia. Oklahoma's good. They're very good. In fact, all the teams in the Southeastern Conference are very, very good. We had speculation the other day that of all the schools in the Southeastern Conference, there is room for, in the NCAA tournament, almost every one, except maybe for South Carolina, and it's their men's team, their women's team, former national champ. But that's how good the basketball level is. Every game in the SEC is a battle, and Mizzou, Oklahoma will be tonight. Now, the Bears are also home tonight here in town at the Great Southern Bank Arena. Missouri State is hosting Evansville tonight. This is the renewal of an old, long-time rivalry that dates, way back into the 1960s when both were Division II teams. But Evansville comes in here. They have a better record than the Bears, but they were speaking here and comparing apples and oranges. Evansville has 6 wins in the Missouri Valley, and the Bears have 1. But still, I think the Bears have a very good chance tonight if they play together, shoot the ball, and get things going for them in rhythm. They stand a pretty good chance.
They really do, and at least one of our local schools is doing exceptionally well this year. Last but not least, we did have some action on the court last night. Any big surprises there?
There were. I'd call them surprises, but I wouldn't call them shockers. Number 1 team in America, Auburn. Auburn did go and beat Vanderbilt in Nashville, Tennessee. Number 2, Alabama. This was a big one. Alabama is they're really, really good. Alabama's rated number 2. They went to Austin, Texas, to play the Texas Longhorns and beat them at Texas 103-80. Alabama can play. Kentucky and Tennessee, renewal of an old rivalry, and Kentucky won this one 75-64. Iowa State got a win down in Florida. KU gets back on the winning side. Kansas beat Colorado 71-59, and out in Manhattan, Kansas State playing the 13th ranked team in America, Arizona. K-State with an 8-point rally down the stretch beats Arizona 73-70.
You love to see it go Wildcats, but at the same time, it's a little frustrating because just like with their football season, it's like winning games that are just like that, where you're like, all right, and then losing games where you're like, really, we lost that? But sometimes that's just the way she goes. Ned, you have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow.